You're listening to The Pete Sheppard Show.
Ball.
May taking a deep shot down the field. Booty is down there. Touchdown! What a catch! Kayshawn Booty.
Will Lutz, 39-yard field goal for the win. He got it. Denver's won.
As Miami begins with possession down 11 from their 30. That one is picked. Campbell, and he will waltz in for the pick six on the first play of the second half.
Oh, man, talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. There was no good in anything Miami Dolphins did. There was tons of greatness what the Patriots did. Drake May continues to impress and definitely in the MVP conversation. The New York Giants did something I've never seen before. Neither have you. And Billy Napier's out at Florida. Let's get it going, everybody. Lots to discuss today. God, we have so much NFL and college football news to tell you about. Recap. What an exciting weekend it was in college football and in the NFL. We got highlights from everything. Not to mention the fact the Toronto Blue Jays have forced a Game 7 against the Seattle Mariners, which will be played tonight in Toronto. That series, believe it or not, when they have a Game 7, it's tied at 3. 3-3. Get it? See? I learned that at Bishop Hendrick in high school. Algebra 1. Get to that in a second. What a great 40th reunion. Anyway, welcome to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Thanks for following me on Twitter, on X at PShep326, across the Facebook pages, on YouTube, Kick, Rumble, CSD in Florida, and also on Instagram, LinkedIn. And normally I'd say you can call the show, but Angel Martinez is not with us today. He is dealing with a little medical issue. He'll be back tomorrow, but you can text the show 727-858-6650, 727-858-6650. And not to mention the fact we've got the Bruins have lost 4 in a row. We're going to do a complete NHL rundown as well. Jay Flannelly going to join me at 8:05. We'll go over lots of college football and NFL stuff, and he gets ready. He's in Ann Arbor, and we'll get the latest on the Detroit Lions and Tampa Bay Buccaneers tonight. They play on Monday Night Football. Once again, 2 games, and it's just they're not. It's ridiculous. 7:15 and 8 o'clock, and then you've got that game. Then you got Houston at Seattle as well. So we'll talk about those 2 games a little bit later on. But my oh my, what an unbelievable day in the NFL. So let me tell you, first and foremost, let me. That's not even getting it out of the way. It was my honor over the weekend. I left on Thursday morning. Got to visit with my sister and brother-in-law and the kids and everything, and my beautiful niece Tessa, who's ready to have her first child. And it was great, and seeing some other family and friends. My cousins Patricia and Don, my great friend Rhode Island Radio Hall of Famer John Parenti. Got to see him. And then Friday, went to my 40th class reunion at Bishop Hendrick High School in Warwick, Rhode Island, and it was absolutely spectacular. First of all, the campus looks like a college campus. I cannot believe the expansion in 40 years. Now, I've been there a couple of times since, but not since like 2002 or 2003. Where I got to speak to the kids one time when I was working at WEEI, and it was fantastic. And I want to thank, first of all, Principal Mark DeCiccio, who's doing an amazing job at the school. Bud Croft, Keith Croft, part of the Hendricken football, absolute awesomeness that they are. And they beat Central 34-14. They're in the playoff race, as they usually are. They've been won 34-14 on Friday night. It was great. And not to mention all my classmates. Thanks to Paul Riley, Jimmy Murphy for putting all our stuff together. Yeah, it was great seeing my great friends. It's just unbelievable. The people that come up to you, we haven't seen, some of them in 40 years. And it's like, it's like nothing ever changed. It's like we're best friends. And sometimes we all had name tags on, some of us. Or most of us had name tags on, and sometimes you had to do a double take. Oh yeah, I remember you, And it was great stuff seeing my great friends Pete Martin and Steve Russell, Kevin Colbert, Dave Crouch, Murph, Riles, and so many. Dave Pignatore. These characters. Was a character in high school, still a character now. It was great. My old history teacher, Denny DeJesus. Yes, that's how he likes to pronounce it, Denny DeJesus, not Denny DeJesus. Yes, great guy as well. And it's so many others. I'm sure I'm gonna be short on some of the names, but it was a spectacular time. Great food and a couple of cocktails. It was fun reminiscing and sharing stories, old and new, with all my classmates from 40 years ago. It's the first reunion I've ever been to. Never went to a 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 or how many there are. I just haven't been able to do it. But I flew up for this one. People came. I probably came the furthest, but others came from Jersey. I think a couple from Pennsylvania as well, but it was absolutely spectacular. So thanks to everybody at the Bishop Hendricken High School, the community and the family, and God bless you all. And as we say at the end of the prayers that we said, Jesus in your heart forever. All right, great stuff. Speaking of Jesus and spectacularness, how about the New England Patriots? And just absolutely continue to impress. So here's how my day went yesterday. And congratulations to me for going media silent somehow, some way. I'm in the airport in Rhode Island, which is not Providence, it is Warwick. I still don't know why they do this. Why do airport people do this? Why do I don't get it. It's never been Providence. It's always been Warwick. Providence is, about 10, 15 minutes away, depending on traffic, from Warwick. And I don't understand. The airport is not in downtown Providence. It is in downtown Warwick. It's fine. So yesterday, I get to the airport around 11:30. I go through security, drop my car off, get to 11:30. So I know that my plane boards at 1:10. And we're going to take off at 1:40. Fine. So I get to watch basically the whole now I've told all my friends, don't put me on any radio thread. Don't put me on any links or any threads or anything else. I know my usual crew was getting together, my good friend Brian and Mary's house. And I'm like, please, I told people, do not put me on any threads. I don't want to know. Now, knowing that most of them would not listen and not follow directions. So I knew it. That when I got off the plane, which I saw the first half, it was 10-10. I saw right the Hooper touchdown, and it was about a little under 5 minutes to go, and right when we took off, and that went the signal. So I got to see as much as that. So Peanut Gallery, of course, taping the game for me as I DVR all the games. And so when I finally landed, I turned my phone on because she's picking me up, and I got to tell her the plane landed. Now I'm like this, I'm trying not to see even any. I don't know. There was about 35 messages from family and friends. I know it was all about the game. I don't want to see it, so I kind of look up peripheral vision to Elaine. I'm like, okay, I'm here. Radio silent. Picks me up. Get back here. By the time I got home, it was 7:00. I come home, the TV is on NBC, and I'm like, no, because I don't want to. So I come in the house, literally, this is how psycho I am. I come in the house, I'm going, la, 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 you're not hearing these scores, la, 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 la. She's walking the dog, she can't hear me screaming at nobody, at myself. I'm screaming at the TV, la, 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 la. So I go, quickly, I close my eyes, pick up the remote, because I always know where it is, and boom, shut the TV off. Wait 10 seconds, turn it back on, and then right up on YouTube TV, right away, recently recorded, Patriots, click, and started fast forward to the part where I was on the plane, and there we have it. And congratulate, and it's just amazing. I shut my phone off because I didn't want anybody, which I usually do during the game anyway when I'm home by myself, because I don't like texting during the game, not my stuff. So then, George Coombs, good morning. Another former Hendricken Hawk alum and teacher. Good morning, George. It was great. Great time. So I fast forward through it and all that stuff. And then after I turn my phone on, now it's after about 9:15 after I get it all done and can fast forward through halftime. Although I did watch a lot of the halftime highlights because I didn't get to see a lot of football, and I'm all caught up because by this morning I'm up at 5:00 and 2 hours of ESPN and seeing all the highlights and lowlights for some of you Amazing. So anyway, I got through the game, and it was just absolutely fantastic. So let's just start there, shall we? We have a lot to do. I still can't believe what the Giants did, what the Giants failed to do. And I know my man, Deputy Sean, I know he wants to call in today, but Angel's off today, and I can't control the phones. He's in Tampa. I'm here in beautiful Fort Myers, where it's just absolutely outstanding. Already 70 degrees, another sunny day, low 80s today, hopefully lower humidity. We had torrential rain. I guess when I landed last night, we just missed it. I know in the Panhandle they were talking about on the flight that it was some massive rain. But in Fort Myers yesterday, it was actually nice when I landed, which was about 6:30, and actually it was more like 6:40. And but man, the huge puddles, and there was this massive torrential downpours. Was just for a little bit, but wow, incredible. Anyway, it is beautiful down here. I had beautiful weather when I was in Rhode Island. Took a ride down to Narragansett. It was actually in the high 50s, low 60s for most of the weekend, which was very, very nice. And nothing like going to my old stomping grounds in Narragansett, Rhode Island. Had some great lunch at George's of Galilee. Went to Twin Willows and some other places. But it was just fantastic. But glad to be back. Love Rhode Island, but I love it down here in Fort Myers. And it's great. A lot of people want to come and visit. Had a lot of great things to say about the show. My former classmates, some are probably listening and probably tuning in for the first time because some of them didn't know that it was on the Coastal Sports Digital Network, but now they do. So I welcome everybody, not only from the class, the great class, the greatest class, BH, Bishop Hendrick High School history in 1985. Everybody thinks they have the greatest class, but we did. We had an awesome greatest class. You know why? One of the main reasons is because my man Jimmy Kramer is the first head coach to beat Mount St. Charles in the championship several times. That's one reason. But heard some unbelievable stories from some of my classmates over the years. It was a lot of fun. All right, let's get to it. Patriots win 31-13 over the Tennessee Titans. Early on in the game, I thought they might come out a little sloppy in this one, and it's exactly what happened. But we're going to give you all the highlights of that. The Miami Dolphins, once again, I just, for the life of me, and now I don't know how you have all these national pundits right now. Stuff I've been saying for maybe 2.5 years. The same thing happens every week. It's been going on forever, and only now are these dumbasses finally listening to me about Mike McDaniel, a.k.a. Charlie Brown, and Tua Tagovailoa. If he's not fired this week, they want to wait till Brazil. I heard Stephen Ross wanted to wait till after the season. Now that's changed because they got humiliated by Cleveland in Cleveland yesterday, 31-6. All you have to know, anything about football, both of those teams were 1-5. One played with heart and one played like a fart. I just made that up. How about that? Congratulations to me again. I mean, just unbelievable how pathetic the Miami Dolphins have become. A pathetic organization, Stephen Ross. Pathetic. What the hell are you waiting for, you sentimental idiot? You do sentimentality in football, and you're screwed. Actually, sentimentality in all sports. Okay. No. Get rid of him. It is embarrassing. You're embarrassing yourself. And you know what he's going to do this week, Mike McDaniel, if he still has a job? He's going to bench Tua and play Quinn Ewers. All right, we'll get to all of that in a second. We'll get to all of that. Let's get to the New England Patriots yesterday in Foxborough. Not in Foxborough, in Tennessee and Nashville, as Mike Vrabel returns to his old stomping grounds. Billy Callahan just got fired. McCoy takes over. And we'll get to why McCoy, at the end of the first half, decided to Vulcan mind meld with Aaron Glenn from last week in London, which is tough to do, to coach that stupid in London. And then I see it again in Nashville yesterday. I don't understand the process of what goes through some of these coaches' heads in the NFL, where you let 42 seconds go off the clock. You got 3 timeouts and you don't try to make a play? Wow. Unbelievable. Just absolutely stupid. Stupid-ass coaching. It's unbelievable. You thought Aaron Glenn was bad last week and the Jets lost to Denver? You should have seen it the other day. If you didn't see the Patriots at the end of the first half, what is McCoy thinking? Just dumb. Absolutely dumb. All right, let's get it going here, though. Cam Ward, who's that offensive line is pathetic, but he did not. He's got to learn to take care of the football. My man from the U. I still think he's going to be a really good quarterback. He's a rookie with the worst offensive line I have seen in quite some time. But he did get it going early on for the Titans.
Ward taking a deep shot. DK is down there. DK, touchdown!
Jameer Dyke, a 38-yard touchdown pass from Cam Ward. That made it 10-3 Tennessee in the first quarter. But, of course, the Patriots come roaring back.
May, end zone, Hooper! Touchdown! Austin Hooper, the former Titan with his first touchdown of the season.
All right, that made the score 10-10. It is the Titans leading 13-10. But here comes the Patriots again at the second quarter.
Ball.
May taking a deep shot down the field. Booty is down there. Touchdown! What a catch! Kayshon Boutte.
That came as a surprise. Jason McCourty and others at CBS, and Jason was saying, the Patriots are they're not into any rush here to score a touchdown. They're going to try to, get it down to 12, 20 seconds before they no. Then he throws just an absolute beautiful ball to Kayshon Boutte. So it's 17-13 Patriots at the half. You will not see any more highlights from Tennessee except for lowlights, because they were shut out in the second half. So let's get to it. Let's see. Let's see. The Patriots now up 17-13. Let's add on. How about Ramondre Stevenson?
First and goal for New England. Ramondre Stevenson walks it in for a touchdown. Fascinating drive by the Patriots. You saw a little bit of everything.
Is that, he said, walks it in for a town. Is that a thing now? Am I missing something going on 39 years in this business? Is that a touchdown, a town, or did he misspeak? Was that Andrew Cantalone, I think, was doing the game yesterday? What's a town, for a town? Maybe he misspoke, like I just did. Ramondre Stevenson, by the way, 88 yards and 18 carries. I can't figure this out. I can't figure this man out. You saw yesterday running with a full head of steam while protecting the football. What? Yes, I'm talking about Ramondre Stevenson. Absolutely unbelievable. And if this was a closer game, he would have rushed one way. He would have got to 100 yards. But he was outstanding yesterday. 18 rushes, 88 yards, and you heard that touchdown. Now, so the Patriots are up 24-13, right? 11 seconds later, this happens.
They weren't flashing the scores down there.
Ward lost the football, scooped up by Jason, and it's a touchdown. There is a flag down, but Caleb on Jason in the end zone with the football.
Flag was holding offense. Penalties declined, touchdown. So there you have it. The Patriots go on to win 31-13. After the game, Mike Vrabel talked about a special day in Tennessee.
Yeah, I think an emotional game, emotional stretch for us. Something that this team and organization hasn't done, and it's done a lot. And again, that doesn't do anything, but again, the grind of coming back and getting prepared and staying in the game. We've played really well in the second half. That's what I'm really proud of. And sometimes you don't always know how these games are going to go. And, we certainly have to start faster, but really proud of the way that we've played, giving up 3 points in the last two halves of football. Offensively, really, if we don't beat ourselves, it's been a good product, and was that same way today. I love the fact that we're finishing with the football. Special teams, unfortunately, with a penalty, but we had some good kick coverage, some inconsistent kick coverage. So again, there were some good ones and there's some bad ones, and that's kind of where it's been. But in the end, I felt like we did enough. So excited for these guys.
All righty, now we're going to hear from Patriots quarterback Drake May after the game with A.J. Ross on CBS.
Patriots quarterback Drake May, Vrabel was kind of downplaying his return here this week. You said there might be a little something extra. How does it feel to get this commanding win?
It feels great. It feels great to get a road win. It means a little more for Coach, obviously. Coming back here in a place he was so successful. But great team win. We got some stuff to clean up, but that was fun.
You were surgical at times with 16 straight completions at one point. Ramondre Stevenson balled out on the ground. How would you say this offense is executing at this point?
We're continuing to get better and better each week. We got stuff to clean up. Ran the ball. The guys played great up front, and we got some juice, so we got to keep going.
Marcus Jones had a huge interception there to end it. How would you describe how this defense is complementing you guys?
Defense once again, shut out in the second half. They're playing their butts off, and I experienced in training camp. They do a lot of different stuff, and they're great. It's great having them.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Pats.
Man, I'm telling you, yes, I'm saying it. I wasn't saying it last week. I'm saying it now. Drake May is in the MVP conversation. There is absolutely no question about it. Drake May is in the MVP conversation for the NFL. 21 out of 23, perfection almost again. 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And man, oh man, he just continues to get better and better. His receivers have to love him. His balls are right on the money. Right on the money. And the receivers have made some great catches too. Did you see the Pop Douglas catch yesterday in the first half, the end of the first half, I think, or close to it, where the ball was one of Drake May's poorly thrown balls. He only had, this one was caught by Pop Douglas. I mean, you talk about reaching behind you like he had super glue or Stickum, the old Stickum back in the day, and or like his hand was Velcro to the ball, and just it was way behind him, and he somehow like caught it midair and just one-handed, unbelievable catch by Pop Douglas yesterday. Booty continues to impress. Stephon Diggs still got to get him a touchdown, but led the team with 69 yards on 7 carries. And again, the unselfishness of the Patriots has just been absolutely outstanding. Booty had 2 catches for 55 yards and a touchdown. Hunter Henry 4. I mean, he's spreading it out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with receptions yesterday. That's outstanding, and you can't say enough about just the growth of Drake May. Incredible. And Mike Vrabel and the presence that he's had on this team. It still kills me how this team lost to the Raiders and the Steelers otherwise. But right now, if the playoffs started today, the Patriots would be the 2nd seed, and I believe they would host the LA Chargers. But we got a long way to go. It's only week 7, but the Patriots are 5-2. They would be the number 2 seed right now if the playoffs started today. Who would have thought? All right, let's continue. Cam Ward on his 2nd unforced fumble in 2 weeks.
Gotta hold on to it tight, but really just gotta continue to emphasize it within myself. Gotta be better at it. I know that's something that I can't continue to let happen. I gotta cut that out next week.
Like I said, I love the kid. He played at the U last year, was outstanding for them, had a much better offensive line in Miami for the Hurricanes than this team. They are absolutely pathetic. Here's Mike McCoy on holding players accountable. Okay, this is from A to Z Sports.
Well, after every game, I'll say this. Our entire organization this week was phenomenal. The entire organization. Everyone came in, we rallied around each other. We had a great week. Thank you for all your help this week. You were awesome. But I think everybody in the organization, top down, they were unbelievable. And I think the week of practice we had was phenomenal. So, they did a great job. So it's just a matter of we got to find a way to play better. And, we're always going to, you talk about the accountability part is, regardless of what the scores of the game, doesn't matter what it is, practice, games, we're going to watch the tape and we're going to be critical. We're coaches. We're going to coach. We're going to coach extremely hard. And that's the way it's going to be. No one's trying to make a mistake. No player is out there trying to make a mistake. But we also have to coach them and talk about the little things, the fine little details that it takes to get over this hump. So whether it's footwork, whatever it is. And it's, as coaches too, we've got to look at ourselves too and say, how do we help the players?
No shit!
It's always going to be about the players. So we got to do whatever we can to put our players in a position to succeed, and they got to go out and execute.
But you didn't do that, Mike. What did you do at the end of the first half, you stunad? Unbelievable. I swear to God. What happens to some of these coaches in the National Football League? I really don't get it. That was as pathetic a display of coaching at the end of the first half as you're going to see. Again, I thought I saw Aaron Glenn do the dumbest thing I've ever seen. How that guy has a job still is really beyond me as well. What he did last week in London against Denver was just as egregious as this. Just letting time, they had no idea. But this seemed to be even dumber than that because they actually wanted it to happen. I think there was some massive confusion last week between the quarterback and Aaron Glenn. And this week, I didn't see confusion. I saw stupidity. How can you let 40 seconds when you have all 3 timeouts left off the clock and you're around, the Patriot 40, you're on your own 40-yard line, and you don't run a play? Where is that, Mike McCoy? Where is that in coaching? How are you helping your team? They had to be pissed going into the locker room. I don't get it. I just don't get it. And it's good for the pay. I mean, I'm laughing. I'm watching the game. Even I'm watching the game on replay, and I'm laughing my head off. I'm like, you dumb jackass. How can you not? No wonder you sucked with the Chargers and we're finished 10 games under 500. All these coaches in this bullshit talk about accountability all the time, except when and then you question about stuff like that with situational football and time management. See Denver to do it right, by the way. They treat you like shit. That was inexcusable to coach that way down the stretch of the first half of that game. Absolutely inexcusable. But hey, we'll take it. Keep on coaching stupid, Mike McCoy. Your team's going nowhere. Meanwhile, CBS, guy Ray Carthon, they are all in on the Patriots.
I'm all in with the Patriots. This was a team that I picked very early in the season to make the playoffs, the wild card. I still think it's Buffalo's division to win, and I had this Patriots team coming in that 6th or 7th seed in terms of making the playoffs. But you talk about being able to go on the road and win football games. That is a Mike Vrabel coached team. Having been in those meetings with Mike Vrabel and the attention to detail that he requires out of his players, they're going to understand situational football from the top to the bottom. You're going to be in a room where he's quizzing and asking everyone about the game plan, and everyone in the room will hear. So when these guys go on the road, these situations pop up. This is something that they talk about every day. There are periods in practice where you practice at it, specifically with a young team like this, and you have your veterans sprinkled in. That is huge. But I want to go back to something on Drake May. The biggest thing that they did to help this young man was bringing in Josh McDaniels. Because you bring in a qualified offensive coordinator that understands how to dissect the defense, and all you have to do is listen until you earn your stripes, where you have a voice like Tom once had, and this kid is showing that he is listening. You talk about what he completed, 91% of his passes a day. That was one of the number one things I loved about him coming out, was just the accuracy in which he threw. And I'm going to throw the name out there again, same way Fernando Mendoza plays right now.
We'll say. Very, very interesting. Great take right there, and absolutely correct. And let me just throw some other numbers at you from this Patriot game in case you really don't know how kind of historic it was. May 21-23, 135.9 passer rating. Third player under the age of 24 with at least 200 yards passing and a passer rating of 100 or higher in the six straight games in NFL history, joining Patrick Mahomes, who had 7 back in 2018, and Hall of Famer Dan Marino back in 1984. Unbelievable. What else is here? I mean, just... May missed 3 plays on the opening drive of the third. He went to the sideline after his head bounced. By the way, how scary was that? Off the turf, and he shook it off. But I knew, and at the end of a 6-yard run, and then shook it off and sat up. But then the Patriots gave it to Dobbs, who came in, got a nice third down conversion on the one pass that he threw. Then May comes back in, 88-yard drive, concluded with that 4-yard touchdown run by Ramondre Stevenson, who went in unscathed. Not even a hangnail touched him as he went in. And he is such. Maybe he's finally found himself. Maybe Ramondre Stevenson finally has it down, the technique of not only being able to run hard, but being able to protect the ball at the same time. Because we're seeing some signs confusing signs. Sometimes he was running hard, but he was trying too hard to protect the ball, and you could tell it was affecting the way his style. Now, and seeing what he did yesterday, much more confident in him. As I say that, next week they host the Cleveland Browns, and hopefully because they need him. They need him. I'd still like to see them try to get Henderson going a little bit more, but Ramondre Stevenson, one of the most controversial players, really, in the last 15 years for the Patriots. Is a love-hate relationship with the fans, and right now we love him. But I do see a difference in the technique and he being responsible about not only running hard, but carrying the football, which is absolutely huge. Defense was a little shaky yesterday in the first drive. Then they were fantastic for 95% of the rest of the way. Shut them out in the second half. And the Patriots win 31-13. All right. We'll have more on them a little bit later on. I'll get to try to get as much sound as I can. Can't play any video today because Angel Martinez is off. My great producer, host extraordinaire up in Tampa. He is off today, not feeling well. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. Let's move on. Keeping it here in Florida. And by the way, my Miami Hurricanes, very disappointing loss. I don't think they should have dropped 7 spots to 9 in the poll, because Louisville is a damn good team. Carson Beck shot themselves in the foot. First 2 interceptions were about as incredible as can happen for Louisville. The last 2 were pathetic, and Carson Beck, and then kind of throwing his teammate under the bus. I wasn't happy about that. Wasn't happy about it at all, but they dropped from 2 to 9 in the AP poll, which I'll get to a little bit later on in the show. The Cleveland Browns, I'm not surprised Miami went into Cleveland and sucked. I'm not surprised at all. I don't know why anybody thought that this team can beat anybody right now. They are absolutely awful. They are, speaking of Bishop Hendricken High School, as my first class was, first one was Mr. Berry in religion, but my second class was Brother Padawick, who wasn't there, in English. I remember him saying to some students, you have been ill-taught. Well, the Miami Dolphins have been ill-taught. And it is mind-boggling to me how anybody can step onto the field with Charlie Brown, a.k.a. Mike McDaniel, as a head coach, and listen to that stuttering, blundering idiot with his pedantic blathering about nothing, and sitting there, and you want to play for that guy? A Pee-wee coach, a Pop Warner team wouldn't want to Absolutely unbelievable. Well, guess what? Miami Dolphins got smoked again yesterday.
Today is mistakes.
Judkins unleashed. Judkins touchdown. Quayshawn Judkins.
Judkins, what a great name. Quayshawn Judkins. That made it 10-3 Cleveland. You never look back in the second quarter. Here's more from the Q.
That Miami defense, whoa.
For a little bit of a bobble, Judkins gets it back. Judkins spins his way in for the Cleveland touchdown.
All right, so that made it 17-3. Let's head to the start of the third quarter, shall we? Tua, take it away.
As Miami begins with possession down 11 from their 30. That one is picked. Campbell, and he will waltz in for the pick 6 on the first play of the second half.
You suck after everything you did and said last week, throwing players under the bus, and then you did that stupid, fake, idiotic, transparent apology. Oh, that made it 24-6, but here comes the Q-man again in the fourth quarter.
Formation here with Judkins. Jenkins' first pick with Cleveland. Judkins bangs it in. Touchdown number 3 for the rookie.
31-6. 31-6. Like I said, one team played with heart, one team played like a fart, and both of them were 1-5 going into the game. And now the Browns are 2-5, and the Dolphins are just absolutely pathetic. Tua, I mean, you could not ask for a worse performance. Kim Bokamper, who runs the boat campers down here, former Miami Dolphin, and does the sideline stuff on WQA or for the Miami Dolphins radio network, said, and I quote, "This is the worst game I have ever seen a quarterback have in NFL history." History! I don't know. It's close. 12 of 23, 100 yards, no touchdowns, 3 picks. Not once, but twice, but thrice. 3 picks. They are absolutely pathetic, an absolute pathetic organization. 31-6, they lose. Here we go. Here comes Mike McDaniel on his job security.
So the way I look at this job is I find it very offensive to all parties involved. If I'm thinking about having the job, I need to be.
Okay, I'm pausing right there. I'm offended by everything that you say, just so you know. I'm offended by your coaching. I'm offended and embarrassed that you're in the NFL. Continue.
Doing my job. So for as long as I coach for the Miami Dolphins in this organization, they'll get everything from me, and I refuse to spend my time thinking about something that you have a job, you do your job, and you do it to the best of your ability, and that's where my concern lies. I think it's offensive to all coaches, players, and the organization if I'm spending that precious time thinking about myself.
Mike, I don't do this often, but I'll do it now. I'm going to say a little prayer against you. Yes. You are offensive. You are embarrassing. Keith Croft, head coach of Bishop Hendricken High School, I'm going to bring back to my alumni, 40th alumni thing. He gave such a great speech before Hendricken went out and beat Central to those kids. And I met a lot of them, and they're such polite gentlemen and unbelievable athletes. And all class. Met a young man, and his name escapes me, who got a full ride to Army, going to be one of the best running backs next year as a freshman at Mikey Stadium. I think he had a couple of touchdowns in the game, if I'm not mistaken, the other night. If Keith Croft should have given a speech, the same speech that we heard on Friday night before the Hendricken Central game, it was 150,000 times 150,000 better than anything Mike McDaniel has ever said to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, you want to run, Coach Croft, you want to run through a brick wall for this guy. You don't even want to run through a jelly donut with Mike McDaniel. It's just pathetic. I just don't get it. Here's more. I'm gonna keep shitting all over him because this is not something new. Those of you who know me, those of you maybe new to this show, I've been saying this about this guy, Charlie Brown, for 2 years, maybe more. He is an embarrassment to the NFL. And Mike McDaniel on player frustration.
I got to do a better job of saying that clearly because in game.
And I got to stop it again because I forgot to do my preamble. Unfortunately, for you guys and girls out there, you don't have the Mike McDaniel closed caption button that I have. Now, we all have a regular closed caption button on our remote, but I actually, through the incredible technology here in Southwest Florida, thanks to a couple of buddies, they have given me and installed a Mike McDaniel closed caption option that is only available to me and can be seen by me. So I actually now, for the first time in 2 years, know what he's talking about. Let's see if you do.
We have to find our composure, but realistically, you do hard truths in this league. You are always held accountable for your ultimate performance, and you coach through tape. So I have had nor will have no problem, telling the truth of the tape, and you have to either you accept it and rise to the challenge and correct those things, or you're subject to the same exact types of failures that I know that the guys are tired of. They wanted to fucking win, okay? They did, and they didn't do it, and it's all of us. So I don't think anybody's spared from accountability, I think we all need to look at the mirror, or in the mirror, and the main thing is teams that go through hardships, you double down on those hardships if you don't stick together. So we have to do better collectively, and I'm looking for guys to lean into the team and not try to displace, not try to feel like, okay, I did all right, it wasn't my fault. No, that's not how it works. We all have to stay together, and we all have to be focused if we wanted to improve.
Cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. Oh, my God. And you think that's bad? It actually got worse. Here's Mike McDaniel on potential personnel changes. This is from the Dolphins webpage.
I mean, if you are negatively affecting the football team routinely, I don't have a choice but to, assess a different player, and I have to coach a lot better as well. So we're going to find out who and what we're made of.
You're not made of anything. You know what you're made of? Instant Jell-O. That's what you're made of. I won't even say, instant pudding. That's too good. You're just like, you're like stale fruit. Like you eat a piece of melon and you think it's good, but it's not. That's the Miami Dolphins. You're a crappy piece of melon. Now, let's get to the real culprit. Besides Mike McDaniel, a.k.a. Charlie Brown. Let's hear what Tua had to say in his words of wisdom. Oh, come on, don't worry.
Tua, your thoughts on the game? Obviously, everybody saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers, penalties, all the things that make you lose games.
Yep.
Rear their ugly head.
Yep.
For sure.
Where do you go from here?
I think you hit it on the head. It starts with me. Can't turn the ball over. Got to get the operation going with the guys, regardless of whatever the situation, circumstance may be. We just got to stick together. That's it. That's how we move forward from this.
Unbelievable. All right, here's more from Tua.
After a game like this, game like last week, it's easy for everything to go sideways. How do you make sure that doesn't happen? A long way to go, a lot of play games still to play.
For sure. I would say it's kind of, in a way, similar, but not similar to, I would say, our 21 season, when we went 1-7 to start, and then we were able to turn it around and finish off, I believe, 9-8 or something like that. But there's always hope, and you just got to find ways to get the guys to stick together and continue to press forward.
There is no hope. And in the words of Apollo Creed, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Just unbelievable. More from Tua. What went wrong?
Tua, it felt like throughout the day, you guys were on 3 different pages. Receivers, line, everybody in the backfield. Is that how it felt for your standpoint?
Yeah, I would say just the execution aspect of it for us, speaking offensively. I think that was a big deal with us within the first half, and then kind of trickled its head in the second half as well. And then that's when the turnovers for me started to show up as well. You can't do that, and you can't expect to win games that way too.
More from Tua.
Got the best defense you faced all season?
I would say they're a really good defense, but I think a lot of it was, we shot ourselves in the foot, hurting ourselves with penalties, going out there, the alignment of things. Do we know where we're supposed to be? Are we on the same page with communication to the receivers? Things of that nature. But they're a really good defense. So I can't give that they are the best defense that I faced or not, but they're a really good defense.
You suck. Just stop it. Stop embarrassing yourself. Stop embarrassing the team. Quinn Ewers should be in there if Mike McDaniel is still coaching at the end of the week, which he probably will be because Stephen Ross has no balls. to do anything about it. He's a sentimental idiot when it comes to that football team. He's a great guy, as I said. I always have to do this preamble. Stephen Ross is an unbelievable man in every other aspect except for running the Miami Dolphins. It is an absolute embarrassment beyond belief, and I'm not the only one that thinks so. Locally, regionally, nationally. Let's hear from my man on ESPN, Teddy Bruschi, on what he thinks about Coach Mike McDaniel and the Miami Dolphins.
This coach, this tuning out a coach. When owners hire head coaches, okay, this is what I want you to think about. That's the voice, and that's the picture, and that's the man that your players will be seeing every single day. At 8 in the morning, all the way to 6 when they leave. He speaks to them in front of them, at practice, in the meetings, all the time. You want that in front of your players? Look at that picture. Is that the one that you want leading your franchise, okay? That's what you got to think about, because that kind of picture, I'll just be honest with you, I don't see it with Mike McDaniel. Okay? If I had to see that man in front of me with some of the things that I've seen him say, and I've watched a lot of his press conferences, and I've watched a lot of him from the Hard Knocks a few years ago, I don't know how I'd be able to play in that locker room, to be honest with you. The man that I want leading me that's going to take you to championships is someone that's the exact opposite of that man in Miami.
Again, and I love Teddy. I don't know why. And I think sometimes, especially some of the ex-coaches that are on ESPN and NFL Network, and even though they're paid to be analysts and everything else, sometimes they wait too long to start to just see the obvious. I'm sitting here for 2 years seeing the obvious. I don't know why this is a surprise to anybody. The guy's a bumbling freaking fool. Was he kitschy when he first got to the NFL? They made the playoffs a couple of years. They lost in the wild card round. But it was always like, oh, well, and he is a smart man. I know. Matt Patricia's a smart guy too, but he's a horrible head coach. Horrible head coach. Now, he's doing great as a defensive coordinator at Ohio State. Absolutely. Fantastic. Mike McDaniel, would you ever hire that guy for maybe off to the side as an offensive analyst, possibly? Although you never know it yesterday. But why would you ever hire this guy to be part of your organization, a bumbling, stumbling fool that is just one of the worst football coaches I have seen in my lifetime? Absolutely horrible, and that is saying a lot. He is pathetic. All right, here's more. Here's Antonio Pierce on the Miami Dolphins. This is more national.
It's ownership. It's accountability, and it always starts with the head coach. It's what can I do better? Everything is on you first. And I think that falls down to, and we talked about with Bill Cowher, right? He talked about ownership, GM, head coach, quarterback. That's where everything starts at, right? And if you're the head coach, it starts with you. And what is the leadership that you're bringing? And I don't know. I'm not in that locker room. Got a couple players there that played for me that I know. You hear certain things, but again, are they disgruntled? But when you see it on public display, and you're a captain, and you're the one that can't get them in the locker room or in the meetings, should it be mandatory? God damn it, you're the quarterback. You're the franchise guy. So why are we even talking about this? And if you're the head coach and we're having the season we have, listen, everything is longer. There's no going home early, guys. We're actually getting there earlier. We're staying later. We're doing more. We're talking about what can I do as an individual to help the team out instead of saying what that other person's not doing. And I think that's where it starts with accountability.
I like seeing Coach show up right now.
Well, I'm trying to, because it's hard because we're talking about guys getting fired. We're talking about losing it. And it's like, football's the ultimate team sport.
Yes.
It takes all of us.
I just think, too, like, if you are a bona fide leader in a locker room.
Matt Hasselbeck.
Of course it's mandatory if I tell you we're sitting down in a meeting.
If you say after practice what's happening,
correct, you're in there.
Regardless.
Yes, you're going in.
I don't even have my tape off. I'm going straight in there.
What happens if you don't?
You're having a real conversation.
Like this. Like,
yes.
We got to get face to face. Like, what the hell is your problem?
Yeah, we're not
show, like, it gets real. And then it might have to get fisticuffs. It might have to get physical. Like,
okay.
Especially when you have
keep the door
season,
shut.
Like, close the door, turn the
I use can't.
We won't let you guys get physical here, but I do appreciate seeing the emotions. I mean, this is what it's probably
real.
or what it needs to be like in that
They need an adult in the room. They don't have one.
Oh, that's a great point by Matt Hasselbeck. They need an adult in the room. They needed an adult in the room for a couple of years. I'm telling you, man, there were Pop Warner football coaches that can coach better than this jackass. How can any football player at any level want to hear that knucklehead, Mike McDaniel, say anything and you're going to come out and play football for him? Are you serious? I would just turn around and walk away. Honest to God, it's just unbelievable. All right. Anything else I could say about the Dolphins? Let me see. No. All right, let's move on to the New York Giants, shall we? And again, Jay Flanley coming up at about 8:05 this morning here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Radio Network. The Eagles beat Minnesota 28-22, although I think Hawkinson got robbed of a touchdown. I think it was a shitty call at the end. But yesterday, this was absolutely unbelievable. The New York Giants somehow, some way, made history. I've never seen anything like this in my life. They had a huge lead, 18-point lead with 6 minutes to go. Denver had been shut out, no points. Somehow, they managed 33 on 5 straight possessions. Let's go to the audio.
Dobbins a block to the end zone, deflected, and did Franklin get it on the ricochet? Touchdown, Denver on the deflected ball.
How about that? Hang on, I'm just punching up the box score here for later on to make fun of the Giants even more. All right, so that play made it 19-8. All right, 19-8. Giants on top. Let's move on. Let's see. Okay, let's move on to Bo Nix. Let's go. Again, this is all in the fourth quarter. Giants were shut out going into the fourth quarter.
Fake handoff. Here comes Nix in pursuit. Thibodeau getting a block. And he'll get inside the pylon. That is a touchdown.
So it's 26-16, and here comes Denver again.
Harvey the back. Nix chased by Thibodeau. Backpedaling. Touchdown. Harvey. And the Broncos are back in.
26-23 now. Giants have the lead. Let's go to, again, it's always in the fourth quarter.
Nix will take it himself on 1st and 10. Blocked by Bowles. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos.
They lead 30-26, right? And but the Giants actually came back down. Where do I have it? Do we have that call? Oh, here we go. Jackson Dart puts them ahead late in the fourth quarter.
Dart will run it himself and dives.
They're saying he's
short inside the one.
Dart saying he got in. The clock is rolling, or it should be. Let's see. He catches.
Charge timeout.
I don't know. I don't think his knee ever went down. So New York calls the timeout. They can't challenge it.
They don't, but it's upheld 32-30. The kicker missed his second extra point, so it's 32-30 Giants. Right down to the wire they go. Bo Nix leads them down the field, and guess what happened at the end with 2 seconds to go?
Will Lutz, 39-yard field goal for the win. He got it. Denver's won.
How can you blow leads like that? New York Giants. Wow. Will Lutz, a 39-yarder's time expired. Absolutely incredible. Broncos 33 fourth quarter points were the most in NFL history, kids, by any team that was shut out in the first 3 quarters. And quarterback Bo Nix became the first player ever to run for 2 scores and throw for 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. The Broncos' improbable comeback, write this down, snapped a streak in which NFL teams had won 1,602 consecutive games when leading by 18 points in the final 6 minutes of a game. Giants in disbelief after losing leads of 19-0 and 26-8. So when the Broncos trailed 26-8 with 6 minutes and 38 seconds remaining in the game, write this down, and we're facing 4th and 3, their win probability less than 1%. The Broncos, though, scored, as you've heard, on a 7-yard Nick scamper, R.J. Harvey's 2-yard catch after Justin Strand's interception, an 18-yard keeper by Nix, and Lutz's game winner after Jackson Dart singly broke the Broncos' hearts with a 1-yard touchdown run with 37 seconds left that gave the Giants a 32-30 lead. So Judge McAdamy, who's going to be not having a job today, missed his second extra point of the afternoon after Tyler Badai returned to kick off 19 yards to the 23. Next found Marvin Mims for 29 yards and then Cortland Sutton for 22. No timeouts remaining. The Broncos raced to the line of scrimmage. Great situational football. Great coaching by Sean Payton. At the Giants 21, Nick spiked the ball with 2 seconds left. That is the anti-Miami Dolphins. Very Belichick-esque when he was with the Patriots, not with North Carolina. Situational football, and they were ready to go, and the Giants win the Giants lose 33 points by Denver in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix, 27 of 50, 279 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jackson Dart, 15 of 33, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Scatterboo had 60 yards and 16 carries for the Giants. Dobbins had 81 on 14 to lead the rushing for the Broncos. Robinson had 95 yards and no touchdowns, 6 receptions for the Giants. Bellinger and Johnson and Scatterboo had touchdowns in that game for New York. Sutton led the way receiving for the Broncos with 87 yards on 6 carries. Franklin had the touchdown catch as well. Harvey, I mean, you heard. I mean, just an unbelievable comeback by the Denver Broncos. And you got to wonder, after the game, which, let's see, we have some cuts here. Bo Nix, almost in disbelief afterwards on CBS about the incredible comeback.
Bo, congratulations on the win. What an insane game. How would you just describe that fourth quarter and the finish to this one?
Well, I feel bad for the people that left early. A complete team effort in the fourth quarter. It was really bad there for a point. The morale was low on the sideline, but guys never quit. Took a few plays, and then next thing you know, Will Lutz is kicking a game winner, and man, I can't believe it. I haven't really had one like that. So that.
Brian Dayball says, "Hey, it was a tough loss." This is from SNY.
Yeah, just that. Yeah, tough loss. Put their heart and soul into it. So,
not really.
Not a lot of talking that needs to be done when you lose a game like that. Everybody gave everything they had.
All right, here's Dayball about if he asked if the Giants took their foot off the gas pedal.
Feel like you guys took their foot off the gas pedal when you had the 19-point lead?
No.
All right, Denver wins 33 to 32 over the Giants. Absolutely unbelievable game. Oh, man. All right, going to take a quick break here. We got lots of more NFL action, NFL highlights and college football highlights to tell you about. Going to take a quick break here. And then Jay Flanley from Ann Arbor, Michigan will join me. And the Wolverines had a very nice win over Washington as well. We'll get to some other college football talk. Billy Napier fired with the Florida Gators, and we will see what that is going to mean for many out there. It is Alex Golish from USF, as he's going to be courted, and lots of other coaches. Lots and lots of openings out there in college football, and more to come. Mike Norvell might be next at Florida State after they lost to Stanford. Thanks for pissing them off as they come to Miami this week and take on to the Hurricanes 7 o'clock on ESPN. But we'll get to all of that and a whole lot more. Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. is New England's place to buy or sell the finest in sports memorabilia. For over 35 years, Sports World has offered the finest in sports collectibles. So get on down there. Phil Castanetti, Sports World in Saugus, Mass. 184 Broadway. Call 781-233-7222 for more information. 781-233-7222 for more information. Sports World in Saugus. Be there. More college football, NFL highlights, NHL highlights as well. Major League Baseball, ALCS Game 7 tonight. We'll tell you what happened last night between the Mariners and the Blue Jays as well. All part of the Pete Sheppard Show here on a magnificent Monday on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey everybody, it's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them, sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
The Pete Sheppard Show. It's fun for the whole family, if it's dysfunctional.
Yeah, I think an emotional game, emotional stretch for us, and something that this team and organization hasn't done, and it's done a lot. It doesn't do anything, but again, the grind of coming back and getting prepared and staying in the game. We played really well in the second half. That's what I'm really proud of. And sometimes you don't always know how these games are going to go. And, we certainly have to start faster, but really proud of the way that we played, giving up 3 points in the last 2 halves of football. Offensively, really, we don't beat ourselves. It's been a good product, and that's
Patriot head coach Mike Vrabel on the win yesterday, 31-13 in Nashville over the Tennessee Titans, his former stomping grounds. And man, oh man, Patriots now 5-2. If the playoffs started today, very early, but they would be the number 2 seed. Had Indianapolis lost yesterday, they would be the number 1 seed, but they did not. We'll get to that in a little bit. Jay Flanley from Beeves World is going to join us in just a minute here on the Pete Sheppard Show on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. But let's continue with some of the NFL highlights, shall we? Let's early morning in London. Jacksonville was absolutely dominated in this game.
Quick throw. Adams. Touchdown, Rams.
Yeah, 1 of 5. That was the second one. Here comes some more from the Rams.
Stafford fakes it to Adams. Touchdown. Flag is down.
That made it 21-0 Rams. They keep it going.
And Stafford's going to throw for it. And he's got himself a receiver. And it is a touchdown. Terrence Ferguson.
All right, 35-7, the final there. The Rams just absolutely demolish Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence on the team accountability.
I think it's everyone just focusing on their job. Me, the line, tight ends, receivers, running backs, whoever it is. It's just every play, focus on your job. Rely on the guy next to you to do their job, and good things will happen for us. So as long as the accountability is always inward and looking at yourself and not trying to shift blame to anyone else, there's no room for that. And we haven't done any of that. But just as long as that's the mindset, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna get better. We got to get better. Obviously, we haven't played our best football offensively the last couple of weeks, so there's a lot of stuff that we need to clean up. But everyone just has to take that approach of what can you fix, and be better for your teammates. That's the mindset of always doing the right thing because the guys are counting on you next to you.
All right, the only highlight for the Jaguars yesterday.
Lawrence looking for Hunter. Flag down. Touchdown. Travis.
Yay, Travis Hunter. How about that? Scoring your first NFL TD.
I just told Coach to give me the ball. I'll go out there and make a play. And he got me the ball, and I just did what I had to do.
Yeah, I didn't watch a lot of that game, so I didn't see how he played on defense. But, 35-7, come on. That is humiliation. Absolute humiliation. Liam Cohen said you wouldn't have guessed that we were here for a week, prepared, ready to go, play in the atmosphere by looking all at it in terms of the way we started the game. They weren't prepared. They weren't ready. And it's not the first time this year with the Jaguars, who are now 4-3, 35-7. There's too much talent on that team. Liam Cohen, I still have faith in you because you're a Rhode Island guy. But you got to do better. I mean, they just sucked. Absolutely sucked. And they weren't ready to go. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Not even remotely close yesterday. They lose 35-7. Jay Flannelly, I wonder if he's going to join me. Usually he's pretty much on time, but let me do a little house cleaning here, do this and do that. And then when I see Jay pop up, Angel Martinez not here today, so I am doing everything on my own, which can be scary at times, but usually I'm pretty technically sound. Okay, let's put that there. All right, let's continue, shall we? So we've told you about Jacksonville getting crushed 35-7, Cleveland over Miami 31-6, humiliating loss for the Miami Dolphins again. They say the same thing every single week. Patriots win 31-13 to Kansas City Chiefs. Everybody was counting them out, right? Well, that's a big mistake.
And they bring it back around. And they toss it to him. It's Rice cutting through, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown.
Yay, 7-0 Chiefs. They would add on.
Have to throw it.
He looks left, throws left, and it is caught by Rice for his second touchdown of the game.
21-0 at that time for the Kansas City Chiefs. And let's see, can they make it worse? Of course they can.
Boy, you saw Worthy shaken up on the sideline as Pacheco races. Oh, we got a flag in the end zone, but it's a touchdown for the moment by Pacheco.
Yep, 31-0, absolutely shellacking of the Las Vegas Raiders. Pete Carroll can't believe it.
When we have a lot of work to do, and we have a lot of catching up to do, and we got to get our guys back. The key guys that missed the game are key guys on our football team, and we weren't able to overcome that. And it seems like there was a factor in there. We were trying our ass off to get first downs and trying to get off the field. They had a bunch of third and, I don't know, maybe half dozen third and threes or less, and they converted most all of those. And it just keeps them out there and keeps all those good players having another shot at you. And we needed to play differently to have that chance. And so today. So this is, to me, this is not like the statement of whatever. This is just we got to realize what we're up against. And we got to get our guys back, and we got to play the game well. And we have to get back on track.
Your team stinks. I still can't believe the Patriots lost to this team. I'll give them a little latitude because it was week one and just getting used to stuff, and just that's a bad football team. The Raiders are a bad football team. Philadelphia Eagles and Minnesota Vikings went at it yesterday, and Jalen Hurts gets it going in the first quarter thanks to Fox.
8 back in coverage this time for Minnesota. Hurts pointing, throwing, trying to find a loose man. It's A.J. Brown. He's in. Touchdown Eagles on the opening drive.
All right, let me see. We have a little issue here with Jay trying to find him. And let me see. No, Jay, you're not on. If you can hear me, you're definitely not on. So I don't know what's going on. We may have to postpone this till tomorrow, but I still have a lot of highlights and a lot of stuff to say about what happened in the NFL and college football. We have baseball to get to in the NHL. So I don't know what is going on. Angel Martinez is not here today. And for some reason, Jay cannot get on with us. Let me see. You're just going to have to bear with me for a second here while I straighten this out, or try to straighten it out. Meanwhile, we'll play another cut here. Let's see. So that made it was 7-0. Late in the game, how about this great throw from Jalen Hurts?
With Juergens dealing with an injury. Deep drop for Hurts, trying to find something downfield. And it's Devontae Smith. He's loose. He's got it. He is gone. Touchdown, Eagles. Lightning strike to Devontae Smith from 79 yards.
All right, yes. So that made it 21-9, and here's another TD pass from Jalen Hurts.
5 on the pressure. Hurts throws down the seam. A.J. Brown touchdown.
Yes, it was. But this was a very close game down the stretch. That made it was a 28-19 Eagles, but they came back, and I don't have the highlight, but they had to settle for a field goal. Hawkinson looked like he had a touchdown. Didn't happen. And let me see. We're trying to get Jay on here, so bear with me. Philadelphia hangs on and wins 28-22. Head coach Kevin O'Connell on today's game against the Eagles.
We did not do enough to put the ball in the end zone offensively with our multiple trips down to the red zone. Pretty explosive, kind of competitive day moving the ball. But we've got to find. We basically, had a better day on third down. Third, fourth down, 50%. Gave ourselves a chance for points, but we weren't able to overcome kind of the fact that they win the turnover battle 2-0. We did that 2 weeks ago, and I told our team that is rare and not a formula, to win games consistently. And showed up again today, and was very unfortunate. But I thought defensively their ability to stop the run against a team that was going to come out and try to run the football on us was a real positive, but clearly a lot of explosives. And Jalen and their offense made some big time plays that kind of limited our ability there in the second half to truly try to come all the way back and win the game. I thought we had a touchdown chance there to TJ, and ended up being a fourth down that we convert, and then we've got to find a way to put that one in the end zone. But thinking back on the red zone trips, I think we might have missed an op on a flat on one of our run pass option plays. We snapped the ball over the quarterback's head for a minus 22-yard loss, and then I got to get some clarification just on the holding call. Seemed to be a pretty routine kind of play, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But short week, guys are already in the recovery mode now, and we'll turn our guys over and go compete on Thursday night.
Jalen Hurts was really good. 19-23, 326 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Saquon Barkley, 44 yards on 18 carries, but a win is a win is a win, right? They're doing it differently this year in Philadelphia. Smith was absolutely outstanding. 183 yards on 9 catches and a touchdown. Brown, 121 yards and 4 receptions and 2 touchdowns. Remember when everybody was all disheveled last week? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, because the Eagles, the receivers weren't getting anything. Well, now Saquon Barkley kind of taking a backseat. It has been Jalen Hurts and the receivers the last several weeks, and between Smith and Brown and Goddard, they are getting the job done. Eagles win 28-22 over the Minnesota Vikings. I don't know how much further you can go with Carson Wentz. 26-42, 313 yards, no touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Mason rushed for 57 yards and a touchdown and 15 carries. Addison had a great game, 9 catches, 128 yards. But the Vikings are 3-3. The Eagles are 5-2. That's where we are. Jerry Rhode Island says, yes, another fun NFL Sunday. Pats crush it. Jets and Dolphins get embarrassed. Yes, well, we'll get to of course, I'm going to get to the Jets. Hang on. I'm still trying to figure this out. All right. Jay, I'm going to say, Jay, let's try again tomorrow. Because Angel is sick and not on today, and I cannot control that situation. Sorry. Love, Pete. Anyway, we'll get Jay on tomorrow. I got plenty of stuff to get through today here on the Pete Sheppard Show and the Coastal Sports Digital Network. All right, let's continue with the NFL. And I'm calling an audible. We're going to go NFL here. Then we're going to go college football. And then we're going to do NHL. Then we're going to do an MLB recap of last night's game and preview. And then we're going to do some NHL highlights from last night. Hold on. Excuse me a second. I apologize. Let's see. Jay says, okay. All right. Sorry about that. I can't fix it from here. I have your name up. I don't know. I knew something was going to be a little off today. I could tell. I got a text from Angel very early this morning. Usually what happens here is he puts the guest up, and he has to do it. I can't do it from here. But anyway, it's a long story. Didn't work out. Jake Flanley, tomorrow morning, 8:05 from Ann Arbor. Carolina and the Jets. Yay! Here come the Jets, S-U-C-K. Suck, suck, suck.
Young, can he find anybody? Yes, he can. Touchdown, Xavier Legette. A patience. Bryce Young with a little.
Horrible football game yesterday. Of course, it was the Jets losing to Carolina by a score of 13-6. 13-6. Meanwhile, Dave Canales, the head coach, likes the way the two-back rotation system worked.
I can't say enough about our guys. Just from the moment we got on the trip, nothing seemed to go right. To in-game, there was a lot of things that didn't go right, but the guys kept battling, and that's what it takes in this league. And it's encouraging that we haven't played our best ball. Give credit to Arizona. I thought that it was a scrappy team, and we knew that going in. I mean, shoot, they've lost 4 games by 9 points, and then you lose another one by 4. So, but our guys, they're a resilient group. I'm just really proud of them and really happy for our guys.
Hey guys, real quick, Mike is going to do it all.
All right, at least they're playing with a little bit of heart. The Jets are absolutely, it's, you know, as bad as they have played, Miami Dolphins are worse, but the Dolphins have like a 1-game lead. One team is 0-7, one team is 1-6. At Breece Hall, let's go to Aaron Glenn on what the decision-making process will be for who will start at quarterback in the future here.
Look like over the next few days to decide your quarterback against Cincinnati. Who's involved in that process?
Well, ultimately, I'll make the call. But there's a lot of conversation I got to have with myself, you know, to see what can I do to make sure that we give us a chance to win. And then obviously I'm going to, you know, talk to the offensive staff and see what their thoughts are also. But we'll make the right decision. Whatever the decision is, you know, I'm going to go with it, and we're going to move forward.
Pathetic. 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 Justin Fields, 6-12 for 46 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He got pulled. Tyrod Taylor came in, 10-22. He sucked, 126 yards and 2 interceptions. It'll probably be Taylor next week. It doesn't really matter who the Jets play. They stink. They always stink, and they will lose. They head to Cincinnati to face the Bengals next Sunday. They'll lose there. Panthers are home against the Buffalo Bills. Next. Indianapolis and the Chargers yesterday. This was an excellent, it was a good football game from what I saw for a while. Like I said, I just saw the highlights of this because I was on a plane yesterday. How about Jonathan Taylor getting it going for the Colts in the beginning?
Up front. On a handoff for Taylor. Big hole. Taylor is gone. Touchdown, Colts.
Touchdown, Colts. Touchdown, Colts. That put them up 7-0. In that game. Let's go continue with the highlights here. So it's 7-0 Colts in the first quarter. And let's head to the second quarter.
A lot of motion up front. Fake the handoff. Jones, a little flip. He's wide open. Pittman is in. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
That made it 13-3. Now, you know, even Indy fans travel well to L.A., to SoFi Stadium. I mean, just unbelievable how bad the crowds are over there for their home team. Their home team. It is unbelievable. Daniel Jones, by the way, continues to impress. 23-34, 288 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. And let's go deep into the game with Jonathan Taylor as well.
It's a good coach right there. It's Taylor on the acceleration. Touchdown.
He finished with 94 yards and 3 touchdowns on 16 attempts. Justin Herbert was 37-55, 420 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Let me see if we have any highlights from that. Anyway, here's Daniel Jones on beating the Chargers in Week 7. Jones.
Daniel, congrats on the win. 3 straight wins, 3 straight games, 30-plus points. How's this offense and you leading it making it look so easy?
I think just, you know, trying to execute at a high level. I think we're prepared going in. Coaches have done a great job game planning us, getting us ready, and then we've executed. I think the guys up front have played great. We've been able to run it. We've been able to throw it. So stuff to work on, but yeah, something to build on.
Not that you care, but those of us on the outside, I think, are a little surprised at just how well this team is playing to start the season. What do we need to know about this group that maybe we didn't know going into the year?
I mean, I don't know. Sounds like y'all didn't know much, but we're just going to keep going, keep working, and we have a lot of confidence. I think we got a lot of good players, guys who work hard and do the right things.
You mentioned confidence. You've been playing this position for a long time. How much confidence are you playing with right now?
Yeah, I think, I mean, confident in our execution and who we have, and our, how prepared we are going in week to week. But yeah, very, very confident. I think we all are.
Last one for you. You've been around a lot of great backs as well. What does Jonathan Taylor bring to this group?
Yeah, he's tremendous. He's incredible. Big game from him again today. It seems like week after week he shows up and pops those big runs. A couple in the red zone there that are real difference makers. But he's tremendous and has played at a really, really high level all season.
Fun to watch. Keep it rolling.
Thanks, Evan.
All righty, there you have it. See, next up, and I'm just getting all my box scores ready so you have all the proper information because I'm so thorough. Yes, I am. So again, final score there was Indianapolis 38 and the Chargers 24. Dallas and Washington. I know the Commanders were banged up, but my goodness, what a butt whipping the Cowboys put on the Commanders yesterday.
Oh, it is with Williams the back. Give it to Javonte Williams. Up the gut and touchdown, Dallas.
7-0 Dallas, but here comes the Commanders also in the first inning, thanks to Fox. First quarter.
3rd and goal. Daniels looking, throwing, caught, touchdown, Zach Ertz.
All right, that was 8-7 actually, Washington up at that time, but the Cowboys just too much yesterday, too much Dak Prescott, too much CeeDee Lamb.
Get it for the 4th time. Prescott, a lot of time, airs it out deep down the field. CeeDee Lamb breaks the tackle, no one home. Touchdown, Dallas.
That made it 17-8, and let's see. Here's more highlights from Dallas. Ferguson gets involved with a couple of them.
He will throw. Prescott throws over the middle. It is caught. Ferguson. Touchdown, Dallas.
27-15 at the time. Dallas in the second quarter. Let's head to the third.
They get it off. Blitz is coming. Mariota in trouble. Being ripped away. Stays alive. Throws it in the front. And picked off. Guess who? Deron Bland. One man to beat. Pick 6.
Yes, Dallas would add another touchdown. They go on to win, clobbering Washington 44-22. After the game, head coach Dan Quinn of the Commanders says the team will be looking at everything to fix the defense, which is terrible.
Those big plays keep happening. How frustrating, and first of all, why, I guess, and then, but just how frustrating is it that game after game they keep happening?
Yeah, it's very frustrating. We're going to look at everything, man. We're going to look at everything to, have a play that goes down the field and you throw over your head or a good battle. Like I can live with that one, but the ones of the big explosive plays that I can't put my finger on, that's a lot for us to dig into. If I had one specific reason, I'd say this or this, but yeah, we got, like I said, a lot to get better at, and it's definitely frustrating.
Yeah, it certainly was. CeeDee Lamb ran sideways, arms in the air, ball in one hand, and finishing off a 74-yard touchdown catch with George Pickens backpedaling into the end zone at the same time from just a few yards away. It was something else. Dak Prescott, 3 touchdowns, starting with a long one to Lamb, and Deron Bland returned an interception, 68 yards, as you heard, for a score, 44-22 final. First possession of the second half for Washington. Daniels has already missed 2 games with a knee injury this season. Injured his right hamstring while losing a fumble on Shamar James. Sack So he came out. Daniels was 12 of 22 at the time, 186 yards, 1 touchdown and no picks. Mariota came in, was terrible, 4 of 10, 63 yards, no touchdowns and an interception. Dak Prescott, 21 of 30, 264 yards, 3 touchdowns and no interceptions there. The Cowboys double up the Commanders by a score of 44-22. Meanwhile, let's get to the Green Bay Packers and their exciting win. Micah was absolutely outstanding. Micah Parsons, I think first time ever in his career that he's had 3 sacks. Do I have any of those here? Well, let's go to the highlight. Let's go to, let's start. We'll go to the quarter is that? Forgive me. Okay, here we go.
First and goal from the 7, inside the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Josh Jacobs.
All right, the game is tied at 13 at that point. And let's see, well, the highlights that I have. Okay, but Arizona takes the lead.
Bigger than Bill Parcells. Huge influence on Brissett. It's McBride, makes the catch, spins it to the end zone for his 2nd touchdown today.
All right, that made it 2013 Arizona, but don't count out the Packers yet.
To the right side of Love, who fakes the handoff to Jacobs, and now throws, and it's taken in for a touchdown by Kraft.
20-20, a lot of Packer fans as usual. Arizona is another place where it's a horse shit home crowd. Not as bad as Los Angeles for the Chargers and the Rams, but it's probably second worst. A lot of Green Bay Packer fans who travel well there. So it's Packers are down 23-20 until this in the fourth quarter.
Hands it off to Jacobs, and he is in for a Packers touchdown, his 2nd today.
All right, the Packers go on to win 27-23, and some numbers from that game as well. You had Jordan Love, 179 yards on 19 of 29 passing, very efficient, 1 touchdown, no interception. Jacobs had 65 yards and 2 touchdowns on 13 carries. Dobbs led the way in receiving, 72 yards. Over on Arizona's side, Jacoby Brissett, 25 of 36, 2 touchdowns and no interceptions, 279 yards passing. Knight led the way on the ground for the Cardinals, 57 yards on 14. And McBride had 10 catches and 2 touchdowns and 74 yards receiving, but not absolutely, simply not good enough. Okay. After the game, Matt LaFleur talked about proud of his team.
I can't say enough about our guys. Just from the moment we got on the trip, nothing seemed to go right. To in game, there was a lot of things that didn't go right, but the guys kept battling, and that's what it takes in this league. And it's encouraging that we haven't played our best ball. Give credit to Arizona. I thought that it was a scrappy team, and we knew that going in. I mean, shoot, they've lost 4 games by 9 points, and then you lose another one by 4. So, but our guys, they're a resilient group, and I'm just really proud of them and really happy for our guys.
Hey guys, real quick, Micah's going to do it all.
All right, Micah Parsons was outstanding with 3 sacks yesterday. Micah. Jonathan Gannon, head coach of the Cardinals, talked about the team's record going into the bye week.
Yeah, a loss is a loss. Now, with saying that, how are you losing? Which this might even sound worse, is I know we're close. It's not like we're getting the break speed off of us. First, a good football team, give them credit. But we're not doing enough, and ultimately that falls on me, so I'm disappointed in myself because we got to figure out a better way. We've tried a couple things, but we got to figure out a better way to get ourselves in better position to win. If we were in this type of hole, having played the way we've played, and the scores being super lopsided, we would still have to dig ourselves out of the hole, but you probably wouldn't feel as good as you can right now as you myself sitting here in front of you guys. It's terrible to be 2-5, not where we want to be, not where we thought we were going to be, but that's in the past. And we see that we're near it. We just got to do better.
That's such coach bullshit speak. I can't stand when it's we're close. We're gonna no. You're not gonna make it. You're gonna get fired too because of that horrible loss you had against Tennessee a few weeks ago. The way you coached, he is not a good coach. He just isn't. All right. Finally, last night, San Fran and Atlanta. It was a Christian McCaffrey show. You fantasy people, I'm sure, were orgasmic.
Timeout. First and goal from the one. McCaffrey inside into the end zone. Touchdown. San Francisco.
Not only can he did it once, he does it twice. So it's 7-3 San Fran. Let's head to the fourth quarter, and they seal the deal.
To get the gifts, they close it out. And here he is on the run. Inside. Pushing the pile to the goal line. In for the touchdown. Have a day, have a night. CMC.
That's Christian McCaffrey. Oh, let me fix the screen. Why did I do that? I'm sorry. Keep that up there. Let's do that. Christian McCaffrey, what a night. 129 yards, rushing on 24 carries, 2 touchdowns. Receiving, led the team in receiving with 72 yards on 7 catches and no touchdowns. What a night for him. And after the game, as the San Fran hangs on to win, 20-10, Kyle Shanahan on CMC's 200-plus total yards performance. Of course, now that file not found. Of course not. Let's try this.
Great win against a really good team that had won 3 out of 4 coming in. What are you most pleased with tonight's victory, and what did you say to the guys?
I was pleased just how much of a team effort it was. We thought we had to win that game a certain way. I mean, even last night talking about how we felt we needed to run the ball, definitely. I challenged the team, saying I'd like to get 40 runs called. But that's not just an offensive thing. In order to do that, you got to play defense like we did tonight. You got to play special teams like we did tonight. And to be able to them allow us to pull that off was huge.
Yeah, and defensively, the 49ers had 2 huge plays in the fourth quarter to preserve the lead. Falcons driving down 13-10 at a 3rd and 1 at the San Fran 35. Niners stopped Bijan Robinson for no gain. And then Chase Lucas broke up a pass from Michael Penix Jr. To Drake London on 4th down to end the threat. They also did this defensively, losing all-pro linebacker Fred Warner to an ankle injury last week. And, of course, you all know Nick Bosa has not been playing as well. He's been out with that injury. So the 49ers win 20-10. They improve to 5-2. The Falcons do fall to 3-3. Couple of games tonight, Tampa Bay at Detroit. So Mike Evans is back, but Chris Godwin isn't. No Bucky Irving. A couple of other players are out. The Lions are home. Obviously, this is going to be an interesting game. And then Houston at Seattle as well. And let me give you a couple of little nuggets from each game, if I may, because that's what I'm all about. I like to give nuggets. Let's start with the Buccaneers and the Lions. The Lions always seem to bounce back after losses. They haven't dropped consecutive games in the regular season since Coach Dan Campbell's 2nd year got off to a shaky start, falling to 1-6 on October 30th, 2022. The Lions' 50-game stretch without back-to-back setbacks, the longest in the league since Green Bay went 53 without consecutive losses from late in 2018 through the 2022 season. So we'll find out. Detroit's banked up secondary took another hit when the NFL suspended Brian Branch for punching Chiefs receiver Juju Smith-Schuster on Sunday night, setting off a post-game little melee there. The Lions have 5 players in the secondary on IR, and they held defensive back Kirby Joseph, Terrion Arnold, Avonte Maddox out of practice with injuries on Thursday. Take the Buccaneers with the points. Tampa Bay +6. Take the Bucs with the points. That's my little lock of the night. I didn't do my pigskin picks this week, obviously, because I was out. I know the week before I got back over 500. I think I went 8-6. Anyhow, I went 3-2 again in college. Meanwhile, the other game tonight, the Houston Texans will visit the Seattle Seahawks. The Texans are 2-3. The Seahawks are 4-3. Seattle is 3-0 on the road this year, but they're 1-2 at Lumen Field. Loud stadium, but we've talked about this before. They've had a better record on the road than they have had at home. The home slump became apparent last year when the Seahawks went 3-6. Their worst record in Seattle since 2008. Mike McDonald trying to straighten that out. They are winning on the road. Seattle's coming off that 20-12 win at Jacksonville, which extended the team's franchise record to 9 straight road wins, by the way. The Texans lost their first 3 games of the year, but they rebounded with a pair of wins here. And this is another game tonight. I'll take Houston. I'll take Houston plus the 3. I like both dogs tonight. I think Houston can win the game outright. Seattle just doesn't play well at home. They don't. And I think Houston is getting better and better after that 0-3 start. I like both dogs tonight. What can I tell you? Woof, woof, woof. All right, let's see. All right, going to take another quick break here. And when we come back, we will continue. We'll get to college football. We'll get to MLB. We'll get to the Mariners and Toronto last night from Game 6. And then we will preview a little bit on Game 7. We'll have an NHL rundown as well. The Bruins have lost 4 in a row after a 3-0 start. Time to panic? Nah, not after 7 games. We'll have a complete NHL rundown. So when we come back, more on Billy Napier being fired at Florida. The new college football poll is out. We've got baseball stuff to talk about with Toronto and Seattle and the NHL. Don't go anywhere. Pete Sheppard Show continues next here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network.
Hi, folks. This is Gerard Moynihan of Moynihan Lumber, and I would like you to know that our company has been selling Anderson windows for over 60 years. See the complete line of Anderson windows at any of our 3 locations in North Reading, Beverly, or in Plastown, New Hampshire, or at MoynihanLumber.com.
Hey, everybody. It's Pete Sheppard from the Coastal Sports Network. Want to tell you about my good friend Lou DiMuzio and his company. Lou is the president and founder of Ace Technology Advisors. They're big-time tech specialists. At ATA, they're able to craft, implement, and manage the best and most appropriate solution for your business. They leverage their industry-leading experience and their portfolio of technology partners to improve your best practices and infrastructure. So you can get a hold of them at 888-599-4223. That's 888-599-4223. Check them out on their webpage, www.acetechadvisors.com. That's www.acetechadvisors.com. Or you can email them sales@acetechadvisors.com. Check out my friend Lou DiMuzio and Ace Technology Advisors.
Right now, our country feels divided, but there's a place where people are coming together.
I gotta tell you, I was nervous to talk to someone so different than me.
Me too, but I'm glad we are.
Love Has No Labels and One Small Step are helping people with different political views, beliefs, and life experiences come together through conversation, and it feels good.
Wow, your story is so...
Interesting?
Yeah.
When people actually sit down, talk, and listen to one another, they can break down boundaries and connect as human beings. At lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep, you can listen to amazing, life-changing conversations and find simple tools to start a conversation of your own.
I know one thing. This conversation gives me hope.
It gives me a lot of hope, too.
Take a step toward bringing our country and your community together by having the courage to start a conversation at lovehasnolabels.com/onesmallstep. A message from StoryCorps, Love Has No Labels, and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Whoa! Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie. So, wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang.
Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This is the story of a very special woman. In a matter of seconds, she turned herself into a great mathematician or an entrepreneur. Her knowledge was limitless and still is. She could also make monsters disappear, especially those that lurked in the shadows under the bed. Once, this woman put back together a teenage girl's broken heart, which had been shattered in 1,000 pieces, just by giving her a bear hug. She masqueraded as a regular person at work, but as a superhero at home. Everyone knows her as Gabriella. I still call her Mom.
Your hero needs you now, and AARP is here to help. Find the care guides you need to help, complete with tips and resources at aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Don't spaz out because your team lost. Let Pete do it for you. Now, back to the Pete Sheppard Show.
First and goal for New England. Ramondre Stevenson walks it in for a touchdown. Fascinating drive by the Patriots. You saw a little bit of everything.
They weren't flashing the scores down there.
Ward lost the football. Scooped up by Chason, and it's a touchdown. There is a flag down, but Caleb on Chason in the end zone with the football.
Back-to-back touchdowns, 11 seconds apart. I wasn't with my crew yesterday, but when the Patriots scored a touchdown, I yelled at the top of my lungs, shots! I know they missed that yesterday. 2 and 11 seconds, that's tough. But I'm sure they handled it. Anyway, Patriots win easily, 31-13. Mike Vrabel's return to Tennessee, an unbelievable performance by the Patriots. Drake May set a team record, 91.3% completion percentage, 21-23. Absolute perfection. Welcome back to the Pete Sheppard Show here on the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Thanks for following me on Twitter, X at PShep326, on our Facebook pages, on YouTube, Rumble, Kick, Instagram, LinkedIn, great Odyssey app as well. And you can text the show at 727-858-6650. Angel Martinez off today, so I apologize that we can't play any video, but we certainly have plenty of audio as well. And speaking of Mike Vrabel, return, before I get to college football, here is Mike Vrabel in the locker room. He's such a player's coach. He's a player's coach, but he does it, and this is an overused phrase, but I'm going to use it here. He does it the right way. He's a player's coach that demands respect.
So there's things of complementary football that we have to continue. Just felt a little disjointed early on. Okay, felt a little disjointed. I got to do a better job of bringing us together early in the football game. Good to break down.
One second.
Now here's Bill Cowher and the crew on CBS talking about that.
You know, Mike is a player's coach. The standpoint is he played the game at a high level. He holds everybody accountable. Himself, as he said before, we didn't start off the way we should. There he is right now. You can see him right now. They all know what this meant to him. And so, listen, Mike Vrabel is a football coach made to be in that football with that team.
He does that after every game?
Yeah, he
yes,
does.
He does.
You know
Absolutely.
what? That's what I used to do after every game when he was a rookie. I shook everyone's hands when he came in the locker room.
Really? So did he learn that from you?
I don't know if he did or not. But I did after every game sit there and make sure I shook everyone's hand.
And why did you do that, Coach?
Because I wanted to make sure that everyone understood I appreciated their efforts for that particular day.
Hey,
all right, yeah, great stuff. And yeah, the Patriots took Vrabel from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Sorry, Bill. Anyway, Vrabel has been unbelievable. The Patriots have won 4 in a row. They are 5-2. They'd be the 2 seed right now if the playoffs started today. Buffalo Bills fans are doing poopy pants out there, and rightly so, because you are seeing the ascension of the Patriots once again, the turnaround. And now all of a sudden, this wide receiving core that we were so down on the last couple of years seems pretty damn good right now. Stephon Diggs has stabilized it. It's made everybody else better. And Drake May just doesn't throw a lot of incompletions. It just doesn't. It's freaking unbelievable. It really, really is. All right, let's get to some college football news. Some great games over the weekend. Not my Miami Hurricanes. Very, very disheartening. The loss that they had over the weekend at home. The game scared the bejesus out of me against Louisville. Louisville is a really good football team. People just hate the Hurricanes so much, and they lost a tough 3-point game at home. They should have won the game right to the end. Carson Beck threw that horrible interception at the end. The last 2 interceptions were pathetic. The first 2, I can cut them a little bit of slack on. They were absolutely unbelievable plays. I thought they were actually completed passes. But the last 2 were absolutely pathetic. Kind of threw his teammate under the bus there, but they drop all the way to 9th. And look, Alabama's ahead of them. Alabama's playing well, obviously. They're 4th now, but they lost to Florida State. Miami beat Florida State. And people always want to play that game all the time, except when it comes to the Hurricanes. They still have a really good resume, and they got Stanford coming in, who beat Florida State in Palo Alto last weekend, or this past Saturday. So Miami falls to 9th. The top 10, Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, Georgia Tech played a really nice game at Duke. Why they were 2.5-point underdogs, I don't know. Mississippi is now 6-1. They're 8th. Miami 9th. And Vanderbilt jumps up 7 spots to 10. I still don't think Canes should have dropped lower than like 7th, but it is what it is. Still a lot of football left. Remember, the seeding is different this year for the 4 bye teams. You don't, if Miami wins out and even wins the ACC championship, there's still no guarantee they would get one of the top 4 byes. Now, I think they would if they did that, but there's no guarantee of any conference champion getting a bye anymore. Remember, they tweaked the rules. They tweaked the rules a little bit. All right, the big story over the weekend, though, besides Alabama's 37-20 win over Tennessee, Georgia over Mississippi, 43-35. Vanderbilt beating LSU 31-24. Absolutely amazing what the Commodores have become. Amazing. Never seen them ranked this high ever. They're up to 10. Notre Dame over a nice win over USC, 34-24. That helps Miami as well. And BYU over Utah, 24-21. However, the big story was Billy Napier getting fired from the Florida Gators. So when you look at the numbers, and this is after beating Mississippi State 23-21, but they should have lost the game. It was a horribly, horribly, horribly coached game by Billy Napier and the Gators. Horrible. They should have lost. But they won only because their defensive lineman made a pick at the end of the game. Otherwise, he was going to get fired anyway. You could tell win, lose, or draw. So his record, he ends up with a 27-23 record, right, at Florida. That means nothing. Here's the real numbers. 12-16 versus the SEC. 5-17 versus ranked teams. 0-14 on the road, by the way, against ranked teams. 3-12 versus Florida State, Miami, Georgia, LSU, and Tennessee, his rivals. So he is out. He has got a $21 million buyout. Half of that is due in the next 9.5 days. The rest of it will be paid out in installments over 3 months. And remember, this team is still playing Dan Mullen, who's having a great Dan Mullen, who's having a great season over at UNLV. So here's Chris Doering on Sirius XM College Sports Radio and what led to the firing of Billy Napier.
What are we talking about? One game under 500, I think, is his record, Caroline. Billy Napier's record here. With everything that you've been given, the recruiting budget, the staff budget. Like, I don't even know who some of these people were that were over there on the staff, analysts, and just because you have a lot of people doesn't make them qualified to help make your staff better. But the resources, the budget that we talked about, the recruiting area that is Florida, like you have everything you could possibly need, and we're watching Vanderbilt become a favorite in the conference. High likelihood of making the playoff. Indiana, when these other schools are doing it, that's why Penn State fires James Franklin when they do. When you look at across the conference, and Cignetti's doing at Indiana what they're doing, what Clark Lee's doing at Vanderbilt, it puts a lot of pressure on everybody else. And I just think that the time for patience is over with. Return on investment is what it's all about. And I'm interested to see what they do in the future. I don't know how you get out of these buyouts. If you want to go hire the best people out there, they're going to require buyouts, and you're going to be back in the situation of judging whether or not it's worth it to pay these buyouts or to continue on with what is going to be a losing situation.
Yeah, all right. Receivers coach Billy Gonzalez is going to take over the Florida Gator program, and it's just I'm telling you, guys like Alex Golesh may be the type of guy they're going to go after, because he's done a great job at USF. They won again over clobbered FAU over the weekend, as most of us thought they would. I don't know if they can afford to hire and pay another big-time person. Now, the John Gruden rumors that have been out there, we will see if they will intensify over the next several weeks. And obviously, Florida's not going to, at least publicly, talk about Alex Golesh at USF right now. And as I said last week, they should. If it's possible, he's not the biggest splash in the world for them. But when you look through the looking glass the other way, why not? Look at what he's done at USF. Look at the resources he would have. Not that he's not going to have some at USF, but it's not the same. They're doing their $300 million new stadium, and I get all that stuff. But there's a big difference in the resources you can have at USF and what you have at Florida and Gainesville. And they should make a serious run at him. He knows the state. He knows the players, the high schools. He knows the recruits. And I think a lot of the people on USF would obviously follow him over to Florida. I think the Gators should take a long, hard look at Coach Alex Golesh at USF. I know Bulls fans don't want to hear it. Hey, that's the reality in sports. It just is. USF's a stepping stone job to other places. That's just the way it is right now. I don't know if that's going to change in the future. And they've done a hell of a job. And they might be in the college football playoff. And I hope they are when it's all said and done. In fact, the last projection that I saw, I believe they would be in the college football playoff. And I think somebody had them playing Georgia in the simulation if the college football playoffs were to start today. But the Gators are going to make a run. I don't know how serious these John Gruden rumors are. You got Beamer at South Carolina being recruited to Virginia Tech and probably others. There's a lot of guys. Dan Mullen, although we said last week, I'm never leaving UNLV. We all know that's bullshit. So it doesn't really matter. There's a lot of names out there. Wouldn't it be? I don't think Florida's going to rehire Dan Mullen, although they're still paying him. They're still paying him. So we'll see. Another interesting man, this was from ESPN. James Franklin fired by the Penn State Nittany Lions because he can't beat anybody either that's ranked. It's, nice coach, beats everybody he should, cannot win any type of game against ranked teams. But he says he's going to win a natty somewhere else.
Coach, I think on the outside, Reese just showed, last year you're in Miami in a semifinal. This year, preseason, high expectations. You're playing Oregon just a couple weeks ago in double overtime. You win that game, you're probably still getting ready to coach. And how did this happen? You've had probably a lot of time to reflect. How did we get here so quickly?
Yeah, I can't answer that. To be honest with you, I'm still working through it myself. It feels surreal. I just got a message, from Drew Allar's dad that he's sitting home as well. We both should be in Iowa. It's what we're used to doing and how we operate. And I've been doing this for 30 years and 15 years as a head coach. To think essentially 6 games ago, we were fighting for a chance to be in the national championship, a 2-minute drive away. So that's the thing. I really can't answer that, Kirk. 12 years, a ton of good moments, a bunch of big wins, but decisions were made. And I'm not involved in those decisions. I'm very, very grateful for the time I had, and most importantly, for the relationships I was able to build. I thought we were going to win a national championship there. We were close. That goal hasn't changed. We're just going to go win a national championship somewhere else now.
Hell yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah. Negative Ghost Rider, the pattern is full. I don't know what he's talking about. The college football playoff, they didn't beat a ranked team, right, last year. He doesn't beat good teams. He doesn't beat top 10 teams. It's horrible. I mean, this is how much they think of you. They're giving you $56 million to do nothing. $56 million. Now, Nick Saban thinks it was unfair that James Franklin got fired. Let me tell you something, Nick Saban. I respect the hell out of you, but if you had that record against top 20 teams and the top 10 teams and against your conference and the very good teams at Alabama, you would have fired too.
Coach, I think on the outside, Reese just showed, last year you're in Miami in a semifinal. This year, preseason, high expectations. You're playing Oregon just a couple weeks ago in double overtime. You win that game, you're probably still getting ready to coach. And how did this happen? You've had probably a lot of time to reflect. How did we get here so quickly?
Yeah, I can't answer that. To be honest with you,
We just heard that. I'm going to see this is the Nick Saban cut. Hopefully, I don't know why. Maybe they screwed up.
Coach, I think on the outside,
Yeah, for some reason, it is not there. It is not there. But I do want to give you, let's see, back to ESPN and the firing of Billy Napier. I meant to play this, and I apologize. I meant to play this earlier. And give me a few seconds here. Adam Rittenberg is going to talk about the situation with the Gators, see what's happening there, see get his thoughts. He's very good. One of the people I respect highly over in Bristol. Here's his thoughts on what's going on with Florida.
Billy Napier is out as Florida's head coach. Another midseason firing, this time after a win. But hardly a surprise as the Gators enter an open week before their rivalry game against Georgia. Napier entered this season on thin ice even after a strong finish to 2024 when they had those big home wins against LSU and Ole Miss. The hope was that the program would continue to make strides with another tough schedule ahead, and especially quarterback DJ Lagway. A lot of optimism around what he could do for the Gators, and I think his regression combined with another slow start just left Florida in a place where it did not see things moving forward with Napier as head coach. So he's out. The Gators are on the hunt for a new coach. And this is a program that's gone through significant coaching churn since Urban Meyer retired. You had Will Muschamp, you had Jim McElwain, you had Dan Mullen, Billy Napier, and now the next head coach there. And I think there's debate about how good of a job Florida is, but it's still a flagship school in a state with a ton of talent, where they have won 3 national championships in somewhat recent memory. Florida's going to look once again for offense and for swagger in this next hire. That's what gets Gators fans excited. It's why you're going to hear a lot about Ole Miss coach Lane Kiffin, perhaps coaches like Missouri's Eli Drinkwitz, and SMU's Rhett Lashley, who has experience in the state and in the SEC. So probably looking at offense, probably looking at a coach who can light up the scoreboard. But Florida, again, looking for a new coach after the firing of Billy Napier today.
Lane Kiffin's name has come out. I think Lane Kiffin is staying in Mississippi. I don't think the Gators can afford Lane Kiffin. I don't. They're looking at guys like that. They're going to try to make. I'm not sure what their budget is. I really am not. And if USF coach Alex Golesh and the Bulls continue to win, and they get to the college football playoff, I think they'd be stupid not to give him a serious look. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? As I said, the guy knows the state, he knows the high schools, he's got recruits. A lot of them were followed. They're a top 20 team right now and getting better. and climbing the ladder, and it seems like they have a real good shot here to make the college football playoff as one of the group of 5 teams. But we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's move on to Major League Baseball. Last night, the Toronto Blue Jays, once again, facing elimination. They got it going in the bottom of the second.
Drew goes up to get it, bangs a base hit to right. Blue Jays on the board first. It's a second inning burst, and it's 1-0 Toronto as Barger drives in Varsho.
1-0 Toronto. Yes, it was, and they extend the lead. Also in the bottom of the second.
It's a little dribbler towards third. This will get a run home, and everybody is safe.
You put the bat on the ball, and good things can happen. The Blue Jays haven't struck out all year long. They put the ball in play, put pressure on the defense, and Clement scores the second run of the inning.
All right, let's head to the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Jays.
Let's run in the air, right center field. It is gone!
Yes, it's 4-0 now. Let's head to the bottom of the fifth. Thanks to Fox with the call. So it's 5-0. The Seattle Mariners did get Josh Naylor a solo shot in the top of the fifth, made it 5-1. And let's see. Let's head to Seattle. Then got Eugenio Suarez got an RBI single top of the sixth. That made it 5-2. But the Jays seal it in the bottom of the seventh.
Troy Halladay. Got a chase right here, but it kicks away. Throw it third into left field. Guerrero comes in to score.
Yep, that would be a final 6-2. Let's hear the final call here.
Pop up, buckle up for Game 7 tomorrow night.
Final, there you have it. And the Blue Jays and Mariners go at it tonight in Toronto in Game 7. The Blue Jays got a 2-run homer, 3 RBIs from Addison Barger, and a solo shot from Vlad Guerrero Jr., as you heard, to win Game 6. Mariners manager Dan Wilson said the team, quote, has to find a way, unquote, to not let them beat you. Mariners have never been to the World Series. Blue Jays, of course, won back-to-back titles in 92 and 93. They might have won it again in 94. They and the Montreal Expos had the best records in Major League Baseball before the strike, and the rest is history. Shane Bieber, 1-0, a 4.15 ERA in the postseason, scheduled to start for the Blue Jays, with fellow righty George Kirby, who's 0-1 in the postseason with a 7.07 ERA, getting the nod for the Mariners. To me, there is absolutely no doubt. Blue Jays, minus 131. Mark it down. They're going to go to the World Series to take on the Dodgers. Dodgers have been waiting, resting for them, and I think the Mariners blew it. We ended up 3-1. They blew it, and the Blue Jays are going to come back, and they are going to go to the World Series. I think this is going to be like a 13-4 ripping of the Seattle Mariners tonight. All right. Finally, let us get to the National Hockey League, and my Boston Bruins are not in trouble, but it is not very good that they've lost 4 in a row. Tough loss last night, and they played 4 very decent games. The Colorado game wasn't bad. We'll talk to Mick Colagio later on this week, maybe even tomorrow, about where this team is. But Utah, Clayton Keller, Bruins up 2-1 until this.
In behind the net. Cole. Schmaltz.
He's got a lane if he goes.
Yeah, Schmaltz. Right to the front, and they score! Clayton Keller's tied it, and the captain with a biggie!
Schmaltz, watch. Here's the pick from Cole right there.
Right there.
And gives Schmaltz all that lane to work with in the delivery to Keller.
The movement of Clayton Keller from front of the net, he goes.
Yep. So that score is 2-2, and let us end the second period. Let's head to the third.
It's in front, and that was Dylan Gunther. Taken away, Peterka across Gunther! He scores! Oh, what a shot! Are you kidding me? Dylan Gunther!
Here, steal from Peterka. Quick strike, shot, and a goal. Puck below the goal line, and Peterka does not give up on this play. Steals it, and then it's no hesitation, attack right away. And Gunther does what Gunther...
Yeah, yes, he does, thanks to Altitude Sports. With that, David Pastrnak did score a couple of goals for the Bees. They had a lead in this game and couldn't do it. They finished 0-3 on their West Coast road trip. They head home to take on the the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers on Tuesday night at the Garden. They're in just not playing good enough right now. Started off 3-0. Meanwhile, other games, Chicago and Anaheim.
Menzel, Hawks have numbers, 3 of them, 3-on-1. Donato with Bedard and Menzel. Bedard, stopped by Dostal, rebound Bedard, in front, they score! Donato wins it in overtime!
By Ringzell, now he's got some help along the way. Donato feeds the puck there, kind of handcuffs Bedard, but all good shooters find a way to balance it out. And then a perfect pass right on the tape to Donato, who cashes in for the overtime game winner here at the United Center.
Second career overtime winner for Donato, his first as a Hawk. He scored in 3 straight games now.
How about that? Teddy Donato's boys. Chicago 2, Anaheim 1 in overtime. Also, Vancouver and Washington in a great...
Tried to go through the defense, and taking the puck away was Chychrun. Stays in the Washington zone. Kane kicks it free, and a shot score! Teddy Bluger, set up by Evander Kane. And Bluger, in his second game of the year, has his first goal to make it 4-0.
Nice job by Kane to strip the puck after initially trying to get in on his own. He's going to poke it past Carlson, use his feet, and then Bluger is...
Yes, actually, the Washington Capitals would storm back, but they came up short. 4-3 is the final there. All right. Meanwhile, also last night, Detroit and Edmonton.
Driven wide by Frederick, put on the brakes, onto his forehand now. Larkin toward the goal. Scores! A seeing-eye shot, and it's 3-1.
Boy, oh boy. You're living right when he's going. Wow. But again, the motor of Dylan Larkin makes this possible. Wow. He just turns around and lets it go. Does it go off an Oilers defenseman? No. Well, it went off the left skate, I think, of Ekholm. And Finney had his stick right there. I wonder if he got a piece of it. They'll have to replay that a couple of times. Nonetheless, huge goal for Detroit inside.
Dylan Larkin get credit for the goal. Detroit doubles up Edmonton by a score of 4-2. And finally, the NHL, the San Jose Sharks have been off to a horrible start once again. It's happened like 3 or 4 years in a row now. 0-3-2, lost a couple of heartbreakers in overtime. Head coach Ryan Worofowski says this interesting little comment, what he'd sacrifice for a win.
Ryan, unfortunately, you've been a part of these slow starts here these last 3-4 years. I mean, how do you, this group though, I mean, do you think it has sort of the the resolve to sort of get back in it, maybe a little bit more so than previous years?
Yeah, I think so. Again, a lot of new players. We got to just keep working, keep teaching from the coaches. We got to keep preparing them. But yeah, trust me, it sucks. Keep telling myself there's got to be a reason why this keeps happening in a sense. I'd give up one of my children's for a win. So it's frustrated. I'm sorry for swearing. We're very, very frustrated, and we're going to keep working at it.
No apologies necessary, Coach. On this show, you can say whatever bleep you want anytime. I don't bleep people out. I don't bleep myself out. Man, oh man. So anyway, give up a child for a win for the San Jose Sharks. That's a bit of a stretch, but nevertheless. All right. Before we head out today and getting everything I have, let me see. I got another text message. Let me see if this is important. It actually is, but I don't want to get it. It's kind of personal for my friends. And thoughts and prayers. Darlene, congratulations. Meanwhile, our buddy Josh Prey, you can't see the video. Now, he's ecstatic because the Gators won and Florida State lost and Miami lost. But I think he made this video the other day. This is from 22 hours ago. My man Josh Prey, our great comedian friend here from Immokalee and Naples, and usually is parked out in front of a Denny's. The last couple of weeks, he's been in front of a funeral parlor in Naples. The week before that, he was in front of a church. This time, he's just standing, it looks like, at his house. And he's very excited about the Florida Gators. But I think this is before Billy Napier got fired. But here's our buddy, Josh Prey, anyway.
To Miami, you a loser this weekend. Don't talk to me. To Florida State, loser, loser. Yes, 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 loser. You suck. You lost when people were asleep. I woke up to go pee because my bladder a little weak. And I looked at the score and you lost when nobody was watching. You suck. You trash. You're a loser. 3 in a row. I can't relate to you because we just won, but you just beat Mississippi State, Josh. It's not even good. We won. I don't speak loser. It's hard to hear y'all from way down there in the loser column over the weekend. Ole Miss, top 5 team. You're so good. We're going to be so good. You're a loser. You suck. You lost. Winners here only. Don't win. Stop talking to me. I don't care if we lost 2 weeks ago. We won this last weekend, okay? We are winners. We can put a W instead of that L beside us. Tennessee, I love you. You know I love the fan base in the OL as boss, but you lost. You lose. If you want to have these conversations with Josh Prey, who's a Gator fan, you must win. Your team must be victorious. You got to win. If you're not going to hit 6 or 7 wins, 6, 7 wins, don't talk. So we're going to win out now. We're going to be the first 8-4 team in the playoffs. Am I delusional? Yes. Am I crazy? Yes. Am I out my damn mind? Possible. I'm slightly deranged, but it's okay because we're willing. If you lost this weekend, don't talk to me. The only people that can talk is the Gators first, because we better than anybody in the nation right now, because we winning right now. I don't give a damn. Indiana, Georgia look okay-ish. Alabama look okay-ish. But we'll hit all of them in the mouth, damn it, if they line it up right now, because we win. As far as your football team and your coach and the program, we don't give a damn. You're a loser. Hold this L. Hold it. Imagine this L is Marky Mark at the end of Boogie Nights, and I want you to hold it. Damn, Luke. Winner. Believe I got this damn. I can't believe Miami. 305 to you lost. To Louis, you lost. L for Louisville, loser.
Josh Prey. Oh my goodness. Good Lord. Good Lord. All right, everybody. That's about it. Giving you all the highlights that I can give you today without the video. Angel Martinez not here, not feeling well. Hopefully, he is back tomorrow. Want to thank everybody, all of you guys out there for checking out the show. I know we probably got some newbies today. Hopefully, from my class, my great class of 1985 at Bishop Hendrick, we had an absolute marvelous reunion. In Warwick, Rhode Island on Friday and Saturday. It was fantastic. Great seeing everybody again. Can't thank Principal Mark DeCiccio enough, and Bud and Keith Croft and a whole bunch of other people, Denny DeJesus, and all my classmates, okay? You are still the one. We're always number one. Hawk Nation, baby. Number one. Come to our gym sometime and look up. You will be doused in banners. That's all I got to say. Anyway, have a great and safe rest of your day, everybody. Tomorrow, Jay Flanley will be on at 9 o'clock. We'll have some other guests as well, Bill Burt and we'll talk more Patriots. We'll talk more NFL. Enjoy the game tonight. Go Bucks. Take the Bucks. Take Houston. Take the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. There's your 3-team parlay. Have a great and safe rest of your Monday, everybody. See ya!